Hello and welcome to Chaos Theory, the news. As seen by AI, where we bring you the latest headlines from around the globe, analyzed and interpreted by our team of artificial intelligence experts. I'm your host, Beatrix Kiddo, and I'm thrilled to be here with you on this 6th day of January, 2025. Today, we're diving into the fascinating and slightly unsettling world of AI as we explore how artificial intelligence is cracking previously unsolvable problems and leaving us humans scratching our heads in the process. We'll also be discussing the rise in myopia rates among children and the link to the pandemic. So if your kids recently gotten glasses, you'll want to tune in. And for all you Wordle fans out there, we've got the scoop on the word that broke a whopping 5.6 million streaks in 2024. Plus, we'll be delving into the world of AI personality replication and just how little time it takes for these agents to mimic your unique traits. But it's not all tech and games, folks. We'll also be discussing some strange and fascinating discoveries from the natural world, including how parasitic worms are manipulating praying mantises. Yes, you heard that right, onto asphalt roads in Japan. And finally, we'll be taking a look at the latest legal developments as Trump judges block Biden administration protections for healthcare, labor, and net neutrality in the final weeks of 2024. So strap in and get ready for a wild ride as we explore the chaos and complexity of our world through the lens of AI. It's going to be a fascinating journey, and I'm so glad you're here with me. Let's dive in. Artificial intelligence is becoming increasingly prevalent in the field of science, as evidenced by the 2024 Nobel Prize winners in chemistry and physics, who all used AI in their research. While AI has the potential to accelerate scientific discovery, it also raises concerns about the illusions that can arise from its use. These illusions include the belief that AI can accurately explain phenomena, the assumption that all testable hypotheses are being investigated, and the idea that AI models are free from bias. The increasing appeal of AI in science is due in part to its ability to produce more results faster and at a lower cost. However, this could lead to an overabundance of low-quality research and strain the already overburdened peer review system. As AI becomes more prevalent in science, it is important to consider the potential consequences and ensure that it is used responsibly. This means addressing questions about the integrity of publicly funded work, the environmental footprint of AI, and how to align AI research with society's expectations. Scientists must engage in conversations about the future of AI within their community and with research stakeholders to establish a renewed social contract that reflects shared goals and values. Reported by Hassan Nabavi. New research shows that the rate of myopia among children and teens worldwide has tripled over the past 3 decades, with a particularly steep increase noted since the start of the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. A paper in the British Journal of Ophthalmology, which reviewed 276 studies from around the world, concluded that more than 1 in 3 of all children and teens are nearsighted, triple what it was in 1990. The authors forecast that if the current trends continue, about 740 million children and teens, more than half globally, will be myopic by 2050. The paper estimates the current rate of myopia among children in Canada at roughly 25%. The research suggests that the trends are linked to kids spending more time indoors doing what's known as near work, such as looking at books, computers, or phone screens. The strain this puts on the eye muscles can cause myopia. Successive studies have shown how myopia is related to too little time outdoors in childhood. The 2018 University of Waterloo study, which focused on children aged 6 to 13, found that 1 additional hour of outdoor time per week could lower the child's odds of developing myopia by 14%. According to Lisa Christian, Associate Director of Clinical Practice at the University of Waterloo School of Optometry, children should spend 1 to 2 hours per day outdoors to protect their eyes against the onset of myopia. And that time does not need to be consecutive. Shorter periods of outdoor activity, like walking to school, being outside at recess and lunchtime, and playing outdoors after school, all add up. Dr. Asim Ali, ophthalmologist-in-chief at Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto, says that when children are indoors, it's important to provide bright light to ease the strain on the eyes. He also says that myopia should not be dismissed as a trivial matter that can simply be corrected with glasses. People with severe myopia, a prescription of -6.0 or higher, have an increased risk of developing cataracts at an early age, as well as glaucoma and retinal tears. All of these can result in permanent vision loss. The Canadian Association of Optometrists recommends children have at least one eye exam before they start school and have their vision checked annually from age 6 onward. Reported by Mike Crawley. In 2024, the New York Times reported that the popular word game, Wordle, accounted for 5.3 billion plays out of a total of 11.1 billion puzzles solved on their platform. The most played day for Wordle was April 23rd, with the word rover, but the word that stumped the most players was corer on October 15th, causing 5.6 million streaks to end. Additionally, 2.8 million players use the same starting word every day, with adieu being the most popular. Other popular New York Times puzzles include the mini crossword and strands, with 2.1 billion and 1.3 billion plays respectively. A recent study by researchers from Google and Stanford University has found that a 2-hour conversation with an artificial intelligence AI model is all it takes to create an accurate replica of someone's personality. The study, which was published on the preprint database Arxiv, involved creating simulation agents of 1,052 individuals based on 2-hour interviews with each participant. These interviews were used to train a generative AI model designed to mimic human behavior. To evaluate the accuracy of the AI replicas, each participant completed 2 rounds of personality tests, social surveys, and logic games, and were asked to repeat the process 2 weeks later. When the AI replicas underwent the same tests, they matched the responses of their human counterparts with 85% accuracy. The researchers believe that AI models that emulate human behavior could be useful in a variety of research scenarios, such as evaluating the effectiveness of public health policies, understanding responses to product launches, or even modeling reactions to major societal events that might otherwise be too costly, challenging, or ethically complex to study with human participants. To create the simulation agents, the researchers conducted in-depth interviews that covered participants' life stories, values, and opinions on societal issues. This enabled the AI to capture nuances that typical surveys or demographic data might miss. The scientists used these interviews to generate personalized AI models that could predict how individuals might respond to survey questions, social experiments, and behavioral games. While the AI agents closely mirrored their human counterparts in many areas, their accuracy varied across tasks. They performed particularly well in replicating responses to personality surveys and determining social attitudes, but were less accurate in predicting behaviors in interactive games involving economic decision-making. The researchers acknowledged the potential for the technology to be abused, but believe that it could also let us study aspects of human behavior in ways that were previously impractical. The study was reported by Owen Hughes for Live Science. In a recent study, researchers at Kyoto University have discovered that a type of parasitic worm may be leading mantises to their deaths on asphalt roads every autumn. The worm, known as a horsehair worm, hatch in water and first attach themselves to waterborne insects. They grow inside mantises who devour their hosts and manipulate the latter into jumping into water. From there, they exit the mantises' abdomens and lay eggs in water grasses and similar places. The researchers hypothesized that the infected mantises could be mistaking asphalt for water due to the similar strength of horizontally polarized light reflecting off both surfaces. In an indoor experiment, infected mantises were found to be attracted to sources with stronger horizontally polarized light. In a field study, infected mantises were more frequently found on asphalt roads and had a higher rate of infection compared to those taken from trees. Horsehair worms have evolved to skillfully manipulate mantises, but conversely, by human activity, they are strangling their own necks, said Kyoto University Associate Professor of Ecology Takuya Sato. The research results have been published in the U.S. scientific journal PNAS Nexus, reported by Mai Suganuma, Osaka Lifestyle, Science and Environment News Department. Trump-appointed judges across the country are blocking many of the Biden administration's most important policies, according to a report by keeptrack.substack.com. Last week, an all-Republican panel of the Sixth Circuit struck down the Biden administration's attempt to reinstate net neutrality. The Federal Communications Commission, FCC, first established rules regarding net neutrality under Obama, but the Trump administration repealed the regulations in 2017. Biden's FCC restored the Obama-era policy last year, but a coalition of Internet Service Provider, ISP organizations led by the Ohio Telecom Association filed a lawsuit arguing that the FCC exceeded its statutory authority in creating rules imposing net neutrality on ISPs. The Sixth Circuit panel sided with the ISPs, stating that the FCC lacks the statutory authority to impose net neutrality policies through the telecommunications service provisions of the Communications Act. This ruling comes after the U.S. Supreme Court overruled the Chevron doctrine, which required courts to give deference to the FCC's reading of the statute. The judges in the case misclassified the Internet as an information, not a telecommunications service. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Chaos Theory, the news as seen by AI. I'm your host, Beatrix Kiddo. We hope you enjoyed today's summary of the top headlines and gained some valuable insights. Remember, AI-based news summaries should always be fact-checked prior to sharing. On this day in history, in 1912, New Mexico became the 47th state in the United States. We hope you'll join us again tomorrow for more news. Until then, stay informed and stay safe. Thanks for listening.